It just be so hard dealing with the two of y'all at the same time, man. Just like at the same time, yo, really? Like, I'm a person. I'm a person, yo.
And you never let us forget it.
Yeah.
I will choke the life out of you.
Damn.
Oh my God.
She's like, cry
This
about it.
guy really just a fucking person.
Like, yeah. Anyway.
This show is good for you, Mitch, because you might actually be able to cry one day. Like, you just, like,
Ooh.
will be able to release.
Do you not cry?
It's not,
When's the
it's
last time you cried?
complicated.
This is complicated.
Okay, when's the last time you cried?
I cry between periods of years. Last time, I think, where I actually like was able to just release and not like, because I can force myself to cry on command. I'm an actor. I can cry.
Yeah.
But in order to actually crying, maybe 2-3 years.
What was it?
That's a long time to not cry.
I'd have to remember a specific. The last one I specifically remember is back when I was living with Uncle Jano, my uncle in Long Island. I was sitting on the couch. I don't remember what I had gone through, but I was just excessively thankful while feeling extremely pathetic, while still having to be thankful. And whatever the fuck that concoction in my head made me cry. And I still had to like force a little bit because it was just on my feelings so much. But in terms of just like easy, simple release, like periods of years.
That's a long time.
I think, wait, but I got close during watching Stranger Things. I remember I told Logan about that.
Oh.
When Max heard the song for the first time and didn't die, I like legit teared up. I didn't actually like fully cry, but I was like, this is what should be happening more often. And yeah, and it didn't, and so yeah. But other than that, like the story I told you, like, don't ruin the moment for me. Sorry. But so yeah, I don't be really crying like that. I'm working on it. Don't want to talk about it anymore, you fucking assholes.
Thank you for opening your heart.
I will strangle you in your sleep with your umbilical cord.
Shit to yourself.
You found my umbilical cord?
Yeah, I know, right? Wouldn't that be some crazy shit for someone to tell you, bro?
Umbilical cord? Are you 30?
Imagine someone being like, yeah, I would have pulled this shit out when it roped it
strangle you.
Strangle you, bro. Like, what?
When's the last time you cried, Annie?
I cry all the fucking time. Oh my God. I fucking like, I don't know. It's like, it's weird. It's like random little words and phrases will trigger like a bunch of tears out of nowhere.
Oh, really?
Like if someone's talking about like their accomplishments and they use words like ever, like, you know, the highest selling whatever ever in history, like that'll make me choke up immediately. Like I don't even think about it. I hear it and I'm like, oh shit, that was a lot. Or like, I don't know. Like I wouldn't call myself that emotional of a person, but like things trigger a bunch of tears to my eyes sometimes.
Yeah, no one was calling you emotional.
Sounds so sweet.
No, I mean, I didn't say anybody was. I'm saying
okay.
I wouldn't call myself emotional. Or actually, I would recently. COVID changed me a lot.
You little mushy bear.
Shut the fuck
talking
up.
about.
I hate you. No, shut up.
Talking about people's milestones and accomplishments making you cry.
That reaction was so hilarious, bro.
Kick your fucking ass, Logan.
Can you remember something specific, Eddie? You remember anything
About
specific? About
when
the
I
last time you cried?
I mean, recently I went through a whole debacle this week of, you know, I went on what was supposed to be a weekend vacation with these standby tickets, and then I kept like not being able to get on a flight.
Oh, when you
home.
got stuck.
I got stuck, so I cried.
Okay, yeah, that's understandable.
But that's like anybody would have cried in that shit. Like we were distressed. It was annoying.
No, I get it. Yeah. That's
like you thought you wasn't gonna be able to get back home, huh?
Yeah, or like I wouldn't like anytime soon because a standby flight. If anybody that's listening and doesn't know, you have to wait. You pay taxes. You don't pay for the flight, but you have to wait till the entire plane boards. And if there's an empty seat, then you get that seat. But every day for like 3 days straight, there's no empty seat. And we were just like, well, fucking now what do we do? And we like slept at the airport and like we drove. His brother came through and he drove us 3 hours across the entire country to another airport. Try to go out of that airport. They're full. Damn. And we took a cab back for like like less than $150, but like $100 something all the way back to the first airport, back to the capital of the country. and try for a flight at like 3 a.m. and we slept that night until that flight, and that was delayed until like 4:30. And it's like you never know until you're like sitting on the plane. It's like every moment you do not know when you're gonna come home. It's just like you gotta wait till you're sitting on the plane and that shit's in the sky.
Fuck
That's
that.
it.
At that point, I'm doing whatever I need to do to get deported. Like I'm like,
you
kick me out the country.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's actually funny.
Private plane.
I'm just standing in the airport talking about, I'm not fucking leaving until like somebody grabs me. Like,
it's like, you're going home now.
You're going home now. Fuck you.
Yes, thank
Get the military police. Get them on a naval cruiser. When's the next one coming by this way? You're in like military jail and shit like that. Yeah, we're trying to get you enlisted so we can court-martial you. The fuck?
Yeah.
Like imagine if a military was so mad, they're like, yeah. But unless there was a draft, like they wouldn't be able to do it. But imagine, bro, if they was just crazy. Like, you know what, fuck it. You're enlisted now. Oh, okay. Yeah, but you're being court-martialed. Fuck. Like, what? Yeah, we're thinking shooting squad. We're thinking firing squad for you too. What? Bro, it'd be crazy shit. But yeah, that is scary though. I get you.
And then after that, I was supposed to come home Sunday. I got home Wednesday morning, and then I fly back. I finally land at JFK at like 9 a.m. or whatever. And then guess the fuck what? I get to customs, I get to immigration, you go through the thing, you get your passport, whatever. I got randomly selected to get my bag searched. So now the guy gets out of the booth. You gotta come with me. He walks me, and I sit in Homeland Security's office for an hour at JFK while they just fucking sat there. And then eventually the guy, you can come with me. And he takes my bag. And he's just like chatting with me. And I'm just like, I'm so angry. But I'm also like, well, I'm not going to die. I'm American and I'm here. But I'm also like brown. And I don't really trust anybody. So I'm just like silently fuming. And I'm like, my trip was really long, but it was so stressful. And this is just great. And he just checks, goes through my whole bag, takes everything out of it. And I just travel with like a little backpack. I travel light, and that shit was stuffed. It was very strategically packed. And he took all that shit out. My clothes smelled because it was wet and like used for a week. And it was just all this shit. And he was just like, oh, you're good to go. It was random. I don't know why. Sometimes it just happens. Anyway, here's your passport. You're good to go. Have a good day. And I'm like, I don't even know what I want to do to you yet. I want to think on it.
I want to think on it.
Show up at his house like 5 years later. Tied him
I got it.
I thought on
tied him
it.
to his seat.
Thought on it.
I know you thought this day would never come. But
sometimes neither did I.
Sometimes neither real shit.
Here I am.
I would love to talk about when the last time I cried, but we don't have time for that. If you're just tuning in,
oh, you're such a bitch.
Oh, no,
for the
I'm
record,
kidding.
so everyone's aware, that is a Logan cop out. But we take pity on him and we let him go with ease.
I feel like I should say it,
cop-out.
but at the same time, for like continuity's sake of me being so emotionally unavailable on this show, like I would be breaking character. Should I? I don't think so.
Is this still like? Do you guys consider this still like season 1 of the podcast? Because if so, then maybe it is a little early.
It just goes.
Oh my God, let it blow, son.
It just goes until we die. Anyway.
Yeah, it's what it's seeming like. Yeah, definitely what it's seeming like.
No, I cry. I've cried before. Yeah.
Prove it.
When was the last time?
When was the last time I cried?
Yeah.
Maybe a couple months ago.
What was it about?
I don't know. Sarah hurt my feelings or some shit. I don't know.
How about you be more specific?
Women.
Yeah, women. They just, she called me a dookie.
Really know how to make
she called me a dookie head. That's what she did.
Shit.
I broke down.
She was probably right.
Anyways, if you're just tuning in,
why do I want to make you cry now?
Yeah, right. Yeah, true.
You can't tell women that you cry. Like then they're like, how am I gonna get him to cry, little bitch? Like,
I can cause him pain. Just not in a physical form.
You gotta listen extra closely to your stories.
Let the revenge begin.
Right?
Find a weakness.
Fucking Scorpios. Anyways, if you're just tuning in, I'm your host, Logan, and this is the Milk and Toast Podcast. I'm here with my best friend, Mitch. Say hi to the people, Mitch. Damn. Okay, Peacock. Anyways,
I'm clenching.
I'm here with my other friend, Annie. Say hi to the people, Annie.
What's up, people? That was less fun than Mitch's, but his made my butt clench, so I feel like I can't be weird now.
Nice. Clenching, yes.
Yeah.
My sphincter also closed.
Victory is mine.
Listen, if you like the show, as I said all the time, share the show. You can find us anywhere you listen to your podcast: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Name something that they can listen to us on.
LinkedIn.
You must say LinkedIn. I don't think they can listen to us.
You are truly a part of the corporate world.
I know.
You said
that's
LinkedIn.
why I stuttered, because I started to say it and then I was like, "What the fuck? Why are you even bringing that word into my ear right now?"
But you had to commit. You was like, "Nah, they heard me."
I was like, "Link."
They heard me already.
Is there anything else that starts with link? Shit.
YouTube.
All right.
YouTube.
Yeah, thank you, Mitch, and thank you, Gary V.
Gold star.
Thank you, Gary Vaynerchuk, for telling us where we can't find the podcast.
That's so funny, bro. Anyway.
Yo, that dude be doing numbers on YouTube. Good, shout out to him.
Vaynerchuk, yeah.
Bad advice, but like shout out to him.
Not all of it.
He has terrible business advice, but good life advice. Like just like
technically, yeah. And that's
technically,
it's not even really. It's not even per se bad business advice. It's just it's a business with a different goal, and not the goal of what usually is American capitalist business practice.
Like making money.
Yeah, you're gonna make money still, but like. The goal is also just being happy and doing good for other people, which I respect. I mean, not enough people do that shit.
I feel like it's just like business advice that is like obvious.
Except it's not, Logan.
Like that's what self-help gurus do. They like give you like obvious platitudes and then like be words. Like, go,
But you say that, but the reason that's a thing, the reason that's work is because people won't look at the obvious. They'll have the blinders on until someone's like, boom, you're ignoring this and this is it. So let me explain to you what it is again. You remember now? Go do that shit. And if I can keep making you do that, you'll keep tuning in. And then eventually maybe.
Do you want to be a self-help guru, Mitch?
I already am a self-help guru.
I thought as much.
Not on purpose. I didn't ask for this life. It's just, people come in, they ask for advice, and I'm like, I want to help you be the best you can be. So I'll do the best that I can from my vantage. And if it helps you succeed, awesome. And if it doesn't, well, hopefully we'll be able to find you something better, buddy.
Tony Robbins is really Mitch's final form. Like that's his.
That dude scares me.
He's right.
And like Mitch just like standing there having people run on coals and shouting at him. Like that's with like a headset. Like, you can do it.
Sweating and screaming.
He's like nothing against him, but he physically, like when I look at him, he legitimately scares me. His job. Yeah. I'd be like, yo, but he seems nice. I just be like,
looks like the Crimson Chin. Like,
I wasn't gonna say that. I didn't want to say that.
Here he comes, the Crimson Chin.
I'm okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm okay. Oh God, but he do, bro. I'd be like, how is your jaw naturally like that big?
Yo, speaking of bad advice, the Breakfast Club is. Oh Jesus Christ! What is Annie doing?
Sorry.
She just died. She like.
I was trying. I didn't know my Mexican cola needed to be. I need a bottle opener, so I tried to open it on the table.
She's got the jarritos.
Oh yeah, it is jarritos. I be saying jarritos like a fucking gringo.
Huh?
I be saying jarritos like a fucking gringo.
Yeah, why you do that?
Why would
Don't
you
do
do
that.
You
know Jay makes the H sound in Spanish.
I know, and I be forgetting in the most awkward of places.
Ja, ja, ja. Somebody has WhatsApp.
All right, guys, we are getting far too distracted.
Yeah. I forgot what my segue was, but speaking of bad advice, right? Blah blah blah. The Breakfast Club ended.
Yeah,
which I'm not sad
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god!
I don't know what happened. To be honest, does anybody know what happened?
I don't know, but I feel like
I don't know exactly. It seemed like there was just internal issues they kept having. Yeah, I don't know what was up with them really. Like contract shit and different types of issues, that type of deal. Apparently, I don't know the ins and outs of it. Unfortunately, I know I'm kind of like our like current event dude on accident since I don't actually give a fuck. But like, I ain't got nothing today, Jack.
What made me think about it, however, is because a lot of the reaction was, "Thank God that shit's done."
What? Who said that?
A lot of
I actually
people.
like the Breakfast Club,
and then
even though I
a lot of the reaction to that reaction was, "Y'all just don't want to see black people succeed." You know, it was just like,
wow.
But my thing is like, is all black success good success? Like, you know what I mean?
That does bring us to that topic.
I see.
Like, is Charlemagne winning me winning? Like, am I like, you know what I mean?
I hope not.
Well, you know,
see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean.
Wait, now hold on a sec.
Damn,
what happened? Did you just cut out?
What are you doing, Annie?
Yeah, I was ready.
Mitch said, "Hold on a second." I said, "Okay."
No.
What happened? Literally,
yeah, there was a blip on your screen,
like
so I thought you froze. So I was waiting to see if everything was okay.
If you guys didn't notice, we are a mess today. I am sorry for this.
I was trying to. Sorry.
We are late and unprofessional, and
I'm not. You gonna take me as I am? God damn it!
I keep trying to go in the chat and tell Mitch that I can't hear him, so speak closer to the mic. But I don't know if that's
probably
just
happen again. This is
Definitely.
not the last you will see of our incompetence. Like,
because I haven't.
No, definitely not.
I am a little high, and I haven't smoked before a show before.
Oh,
I've only drank before a show, so I guess this is a good little.
Welcome to the club.
You know what, Mitch? I give you a lot of flack for coming on the show like crossfaded sometimes. But you're a professional. Like,
yeah, all day, every day.
Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on this side of the screen. Like, I don't know. This girl has literally almost killed herself with Jarritos, and then she ended the feed and like came back.
I did.
That did and that's that we don't know. That's why I stopped. Because I was speaking.
I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, and then she was like, "I can't hear Mitch for some reason." I'm like, "You left."
Shit!
Yo, straight up, yeah.
No, you're here now. Don't touch anything. Stay away from buttons.
All right,
but that's why I stopped because I was looking at. I was like, "Oh, did she just freeze?" And we was like, "Shit, yeah."
This is crazy.
Oh, my bad.
Welcome back. It's all good. It's all good.
Well, you were here the whole time for me, so. I heard everything.
Mitch, you were telling me why you love Charlemagne.
Oh, why you gotta do shit like that? Why you gotta just...
Because you were about to cape for him, so I might as well put you in that
I wasn't gonna cape. To be fair. So Charlemagne can be an annoying personality, but in terms of the whole, if Charlemagne's winning, am I winning thing, answer's still being no, because Charlemagne wins for him. But nonetheless, in terms of like, Black image of success, Charlemagne tends to be positive in the community about seeing other Black people win. We always hear about him in the light of like, he can be disgusting and all this. Some of that being true. The other side of Charlemagne is I actually want to see Black people winning. I'm talking shit to Black people because I'm the nigga who's going to say the shit that y'all don't want to hear. That's who he is. That's his personality.
I want to ask you a question about that because I think you brought up something just phenomenal just then and it might have saved the show.
Sweet. I'll be doing that shit. And I got cape on like all day, every day.
Just calm down for a second. Let me ask the fucking question first. My Superman. Listen. You said, in terms of like Black success, Charlemagne wants to see the Black community winning, which is great. My question to that would be like, is that enough for the damage he does to the Black community? Like, it's like...
Well, what kind of damage would you be speaking to? Because I can't say I watch The Breakfast Club enough like that. But like, what's grinding your gears? That's
about
what
Charlemagne?
This really is about. Yeah,
I feel like he, a lot of the times, is very anti-Black in how he talks about Black women, especially when he's like literally 3 feet from a Black woman, like right there to her face. And a lot of the time he platforms a lot of people who are homophobic and like Dr. Umar Johnson, or like maybe he'll have like somebody like Tariq Nasheed or somebody on. And like, it's like at that point, there's only a certain type of blackness that benefits from Charlemagne. And if it's not male and straight, then it's not really anybody else.
It's toxic.
So yeah, it's like there's a toxic type of masculinity that he promotes. So it's like, is the fact that he's like with his mouth, you know, oh, I want to see black people succeed, and with some of his actions, I won't put that down that he does support black business and black people doing well. But then with his actions, he also, I don't know, sometimes it feels like he does just as much damage or if not more. So my question is like, is that enough that he just wants to see black people win?
I don't know, because, you know, he's a radio show host on a radio show. So the fact is their guests are going to be either interesting for one reason or another, whether it's something positive or something problematic, regardless. I mean, 6ix9ine being on their show. I mean, they put people on their show that you'd be surprised would be on there in the first place, just as they put, you know, positive models, but it's a radio show. That's what they do. So I don't know if you could put that all on him versus he, Martinez, DJ NB, and the, you know, producers for the show. Because I don't think that's a solo decision. Now, this isn't me, you know, like posturing for him. I just don't actually know in terms of like guests, because like they all talk to whoever comes on the show regardless.
What do you feel like, Annie, as somebody in media kind of person?
Yeah.
I'm just going to make you an expert in media right now. Like,
okay.
Run with it.
I mean, it's true. He's a radio guy. He's an entertainer, and that's what he does. He plays with toxicity. I mean, I'm not saying that his opinions and all the things, the not great shit that he promotes is. I'm not saying it's not him, but it's also smart because that category of people that he appeals to is the same category of people that like give social media the most views. They're all over social media. They love all that crap, and that's the stuff that makes money. That's the stuff that how your name gets spread in the first place. So he's keeping himself up. That's for damn sure. Mm-hmm. And so he's kind of a genius in that he's good at what he does. He's great at what he does.
So
but he's an asshole. But he's good at it. I'm not gonna say that he's not funny as shit.
He's an asshole. It's true.
You know,
I'm not. That's what I'm saying though. It's like I don't deny that he's successful. Without saying. But I'm just saying, is his success also my success? Like, am I winning because he wins?
Having more black men at the level he's at, in general, I think is a good thing. Because even if you're not a toxic, misogynistic person the way he is, at least you know that you can have your name plastered on the wall while you're running a huge radio show at, you know, Hot 97, 105.1, whatever the fuck it is. You know, at least you know that you can run a talk show because you're good at talking to people. You're good at asking people questions. You know,
let me go with that. Like, let's say Mitch needs a job now at the same radio station. Does that help Mitch, are you saying, or does that just help Charlemagne?
What do you mean? If he needs a radio station job and Charlemagne gives him a job?
No, I mean
No.
I mean, like, Charlemagne has made his success at this place, right? Or any business, right?
Yeah.
Does that also help Mitch despite like whatever Charlemagne's actions are or whatever culture he does promote? Does that help Mitch regardless because Charlemagne just happens to be black and Mitch also happens to be black?
Well, I guess it depends on who. If you're trying to get a job and you're interviewing a white guy who loves Charlemagne, then you got that shit in the bag because he's probably like, oh my God, a black dude. He's probably just like Charlemagne. You know what I mean? But like,
okay.
You know,
no, there's something to think about. Yeah.
No. Overall, I would have, to be honest with you, I would have just said yes. Because Annie is right in terms of the interviewer always who decides. But like, it's about being in that ethos of all the like social norms and shit that we're used to as human beings. Charlemagne's been doing this. Naturally, you walk into an office, that's in somebody's head. Why couldn't I hire that dude? I'm used to seeing this guy do it. That's like just social psychology in a way. Yeah. So regardless, it is fair to say, because the interview is going to determine who gets the job, but just the fact that it's in your head, like, I'm used to seeing, it's about representation at the end of the day. We've had this conversation. And like, he's up there doing big things, known worldwide. that's a good look for you regardless. You're a radio talk show host or whatever, or in
So
general.
it sets an example. Like
it does,
like,
sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Regardless of how we feel about him, just in terms of like the public ethos inside someone's brain, like, oh, that's a successful black person. Black people be doing that. Oh, maybe I could give this dude a shot. He could go do that. That's just how a human being's brain works.
Yeah.
You know, on that level. So on that level, yeah, him being successful is still your success.
I like that. I like that answer, because even if I don't really agree with Charlemagne as a person, to be honest, but like if even if I don't agree with that, like I do like that answer, that like at the end of the day, like if you were trying to like work in a place where even if somebody was like that, like just the fact that they're there, like it puts in the broader consciousness that like, no, hey, this is what works for our business, and so like, hey, yeah, you might be that too. Like, you know, it's not not the best to be thought of. Like, you could be the next Charlemagne, but at the same time, it's like for them or for you,
the next Charlemagne.
that might be your come up. That might be a boom for you. So that may be, I think you guys answered that in a really. Wow.
It only really. Hey, we're intelligent, capable people. Air fives, Annie.
No, I expect smart people on this show, but I never thought of it in that way. And so like the way I was thinking about it, like you actually changed my mind.
It sucks when you're a bad example though. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, because it's really only that though. It's really only that. Because on the opposite side, when you have like bad examples, they worsen credibility. And that's why racism sucks. Say that. Oh yeah? Yeah, because you have to talk about that.
Mm-hmm. You know, when somebody does something wrong and it's on the news and it's a black dude, it's like, fuck. God damn. You know what I mean? Because it affects the whole community.
That also does bother me, though.
That should bother you. That should 100% bother you.
Because then it's like, I don't want to perpetuate the behavior that we should be looking for whatever white gaze, you know, puts us on top.
Yeah.
Like that, if I'm looking for my boss's opinion just because he's white and not because I do a fucking good job, then like I'm not really working. Like my value isn't what I think it is. It's based off of somebody else. It's based off of somebody else's like deification. It's not based off of what I can do and my own like awesomeness or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like just like I'm a rebel at work. Y'all seen my group chat like things when I like talk about like whatever. So it's like I know it's very hard to like tell other people to say like bullshit to like their bosses, their higher ups, you know, because like not everybody can get away with shit like that. Mm-hmm. Not everybody navigates their work life like that. But at the same time, I feel like there's certain things that are just like too important to like just let slip. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like I'm never going to be the person that like advocates, hey, listen, like, you know, just because like we all need to be doing good, because if we don't, then like the white man going to look at us like this and then Massa going to say that. Like, you know, I'm just not that
No, that's
person.
the thing.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God.
But
what? Go ahead, Andy.
Go ahead, Andy. Yes.
But was there a but after that? You're not that person, but
no, that
you
was
will
it.
be the person to be like, okay, yeah. Because it's not like kissing up to a white boss isn't even like, because it's like what whiteness represents. Like if I piss off my white boss, then, you know, whiteness kind of represents, which we don't want to agree with, but it kind of represents power and status, right? Pissing off the white boss, that means I'm never going to get a job in this town again because that guy definitely knows everybody and I'm fucked, you know?
Yes.
And it's shitty that association is there, but the association is there for us the same way, you know, someone's association with anyone of any color is kind of immediately based off of whatever that person's know. That's why Charlemagne's status is good for the black community, because he's up there. And if someone sees it, then it's like, oh, that what they see is exactly what they're going to think. His opinions are a much deeper step forward that, you know, changes by who you're talking to. But what they see and they associate you with affects you, unfortunately.
Literally, I think that was the beginning premise of my problem was that premise,
Yeah.
I think, is that the fact that like you guys are right in that in the short term, like in the immediacy of everything, like Charlemagne doing well puts black people in a place where like people look and they say, this is a black man that can do well. So you can also have a black man that does well at your company too. You know what I mean? Like it does put that ethos out there, right?
Yeah.
Like right there in the middle. But like as a long-term thing, it's like terrible because it's like, if this black man fails, like if it's like Will Smith, then he slaps one person and all of a sudden it's like black people ain't shit. Like it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I can't rely on that. Like I can't tell my grandchildren to rely on that because that's not stable. That's not a stable form when like Johnny from the block can just go down the street and then like Chad can like shoot up a school and nobody thinks anything about white people and everybody can get every white person get a job the next day.
No,
you know what I mean?
Shitty facts, but
so it's like
my biggest issue is. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you saying something else?
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, my biggest issue is, and this is just in the vein of racism. It's just funny how quick people are to forget just how inefficient it is. Like that's really inefficient to base what this person is capable of doing on a first impression of like something like race or just like one interview. What if that person is like actually a super genius and you're looking at the person who could have bailed your company out of the worst trouble of the decade, but you're like, yeah, but you know, Will Smith slaps people. He's black.
Yeah.
She's black. There's no reason.
She's also violent. Yeah.
And then your base crumbles. And on the same level, when you have the gays, it's like, one, that's too much pressure for anybody in the first place. But if black people are sitting here thinking like, oh, what will they think? They're not doing the proper job of actually getting the job done. You're catering to someone in terms of thinking about the white gaze when because you know, we do that on some level. I have to do it a specific way. I have to do it like this because that's the way that they'll like it. Where on some level, it's like someone wanting something isn't always right. You know what I mean? They could be making mistakes. And if you were doing something the right way rather than trying to pander to them, both parties would get what they actually need. Do you understand what I mean when I say that? Yes.
Me, the way I live is reckless and I don't advocate it for other people. However, when I'm not gonna lie, but it looked like. Listen, like I said, when I sent it to the group chat, Mitch, like I sent like something that I said at work to the group chat not too long ago, and Mitch was like, "What am I looking at?"
Yeah, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Sorry.
And I'm like, "It's some work bullshit," and then I could like feel like Mitch like be like, "Oh my god, you said that at work!" Like it's just like,
"Oh, that's so funny." Wow. Well, no, it was
because like
it was
like
rude.
I say some real shit sometimes, but it's like I don't advocate for anybody to act like that. However, if I could get people to think or act just like 2% of that, just to reclaim their own autonomy and their own power, then I'm going to full tilt give them that. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like, I don't advocate, like, the way I work, I don't advocate at all, or I don't practice in my life, and I try to practice that, like, if you do have a powerful position or if you're a powerful person, that let's make it for the right reasons. Like, tell me why you're in this position and tell me why I should listen to you and tell me the extent of your power. I'm not just going to look at like, okay, you're a white boss, you're powerful, you're my boss's boss or wherever, whoever's boss really, and be like, okay, like I have to bow down to you right now. Like me personally, it's like, I see you in that position and that power that you have here ends at the door. Like when I get out of here, you can't tell me shit. So there's a limit on what you can do and what you can't do. And and like, you know, like I like that's where I leave it. You know what I mean? So like I always have in the back of my head that like everybody's power has a limit to an extent. You know what I mean?
That's just true.
And so like in some ways it might be egotistical of me, but like when I think about what I would do or wouldn't do, like sometimes that doesn't have a limit. sometimes that puts me in a position where my power doesn't have a limit. So it's like, if
That's
I need to
good.
get
That's-
if I need to get something done, then I can just get that done. Like, I don't have that type of fear when I go to work, you know? And then when I do have that fear, because it's not like I'm not a robot, but like when I am fearful at work, it does make me sit back and like evaluate. Like, there's been multiple times where like if I've been in like confrontations with like superiors or authority figures at work, and I'm like worried for my job or something, and I'm like coming home, and like after every confrontation I'm like coming home, I'm like really nervous or like anxiety ridden. It really makes me sit down and think, why the fuck am I feeling this way?
Yeah.
Like, why am I fearful? You know what I mean? And then I go through the reasons, and then I'm like, this isn't me. Fuck this shit.
Damn,
like,
yo.
You know what I mean?
I'm jealous of you because it's like, it's true. And that's also a good way to command your own respect is by walking in and talking to them as if like with that consciousness of like, you don't control me. You control this one thing that you have a heavy hand in this one thing that I need to do. And so I'm going to have that respect for you, but that's where the line is drawn. And I'm moving
like,
about like
what
that.
are we doing here? Like, what, like,
right.
Like, are you president? Suck my dick?
Here
Like, what is
personally
this?
For you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true. I actually had that also when I was just stranded in DR because when I'm like in the middle of the country and I didn't have a way home and I'm like trying to figure out, I was supposed to be home Sunday, get there Wednesday, all the stuff. My biggest source of stress was work. And I actually have a speech written down, ready to tell my boss on our 101 tomorrow, on Friday, even though I wish I had it the day I came home because I was really annoyed at the fact I was explaining to her over Slack in the message what I'm going through and what's happening. I need to take Monday, and then Tuesday I'm like, fuck, I have to take it this day again. She wouldn't even like answer me. Like, no reassurance, nothing. And then she like gave a thumbs up response to when I was like, I was able to log in for like 30 minutes and do this quick thing, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to come home tomorrow. I'm still figuring it out. This is the worst week of my life. Ignores it. Damn. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm like shaking. I was like shaking with anxiety at like, am I going to lose my fucking job? Not even am I going to lose it. I don't think I'm even going to lose it. But I would think that like no one would think I'm doing a good job. Right. Meanwhile, I'm literally stuck in this country where I don't speak the language, and I'm like, all my clothes are dirty. I'm sleeping in an airport. Like, I have problems much larger than, oh no, I have to answer this fucking email, but internet's down. And I would just be so conscious of like, why the hell am I shaking with anxiety and in tears? Not because I'm stuck in an airport for the second night in a row and I don't know how I'm gonna get home and it's cold and I have no pants, all this stuff.
Right.
No. It's because my client is still waiting for an email that I didn't respond to for 6 hours. Right. And I'm just like, I am way too underpaid to be doing all that. That's insane.
I got stranded. I had to deal with an actual emergency. Everything was like, planned and set out. Like, the fuck?
And I didn't even have the space to be able to like solve my problem, my actual survival problem, because I was so like, oh my God, I just have to get home as soon as possible because I gotta log on and answer some emails. Like, I cannot, like, even while I'm saying it, I would cry harder because I'm like, I can't believe I'm even thinking this way. I can't believe I'm even fucking feeling this and saying this, but I can't even help it. Like, I won't stop shaking because I really want to just go home and log on to these emails. And it's like, it just caused so much more chaos because now we're driving across the country to different airports. If I didn't have that stress, I'd be like, we're going to sit here in this one airport and just wait for the next flight. It may be in 12 hours, but it's fine. We'll, eat some food, read some books. Like, it would have been fine. Right. But I had this over fucking chaotic shaking thing. Like, no, I need to get home as soon as possible so I don't take off for a second day in a row.
That is a good thing to talk about, though. I think, like, I know we got, like, off topic, but this is a great topic as well. It's just, like, what to do with, like, that pressure and that anxiety when it comes to, like, work and your boss. And, like, yes, you need to eat, but, like, there comes a point for me, and this is, okay, listen, take what I say, please, people, with, like, not a grain of salt, but at least 2 grains of salt. You know what I mean? Like, do some of it, but don't do all of it. Because I'm also crazy. Like, when I was listening to your story just now, Annie, I'm thinking about, like, how your boss sends you a thumbs up because she doesn't believe that you're stuck in DR.
That's exactly what I thought.
You know what I mean? Like, the first day, for me, like, I'm an emotional person. So, like, the first day, I'm like, oh, my God, I'm going to lose my job. I'm, like, feeling all the same anxiety you're feeling, right? But then if I get to, like, day 2, then there's like something not right with my brain where I just like start plotting against my boss. Like I'm just like,
No,
I'm like,
same. That's what I was doing. I'm like,
I'm not about to lose my job. You about to lose your job,
right?
Like,
That's what I'm like. I'm trying to like, who is the person above you that I can come complain to?
Yes, right.
So like, this is insane that I'm going through all this and you're not even responding to me.
Yes,
That's insane. Are you kidding? Like, you have to just not believe. Like, I would just create this insane, intricate story of all the shit that I went through. You don't think I'm just going to tell you I have the flu, I can't come in? Like, you don't think I would think that that's so much easier if I have to make something up?
Yeah.
Right.
What
like
the
if I want an extra day in DR.
Yeah.
First of all, if I want an extra day in DR, I would tell you I need an extra fucking day in DR because I'm in fucking DR, getting my back blown out. Like, this is great, all right? Like, this is where I need to be right now. And if you want me to be productive, that's where I'm going to be, okay? like, that's that.
Yeah.
But, like, the fact that I'm, like, stranded in a fucking airport, I don't have any clean clothes, like, don't talk to me right now. Unless you got like solutions or you're going to send like the company helicopter to come get me out of this situation, don't fucking talk to me. Don't like be like thumbs up. Like fucking your passive aggressive bullshit when it's like.
God. The fucking worst.
I've worked all types of jobs at this point now in my life. Right. And I want to say, like, even like people who like live in like paycheck, I'm still living paycheck to paycheck, but like even people who are living like paycheck to paycheck on like that scale where you're like barely over a minimum wage or you're at minimum wage and you're working like 2-3 jobs or whatever. I've been there, right? Listen, and I mean this from like inside my heart. You can definitely get another fucking job just like that in a heartbeat, and your boss needs to know that shit. And if your boss don't know that shit, you need to make it aware and clear that, listen, I work here. And especially if you're not a good worker, don't do this. But like, because like you guys know when you really are good workers and you're not. Like, don't play around.
Right.
Don't lie to yourself, please.
Yeah, don't lie to yourself.
Be like,
but if like you are given this job everything you got, like you are showing up on time or at least 5 minutes after on time, and like you are like I'm speaking to myself now.
Can we get like a 10 minutes out?
Yeah, like if you come in, right?
Yeah,
and like,
exactly.
And like you are like giving the best customer service, you're giving the best like work or spreadsheets or whatever, and you're like really reliable. Doing it for you're reliable, and they can count on you to do shit, and then your boss wants to just go off on you because they're also not properly paid. Don't let that shit happen. Like, shut that shit down immediately. Do not let your boss just pop off on you. Like, even if you got to say like, listen, I need 10 minutes from you. Like, you don't even have to be angry yourself. Be like, listen, I need 10 minutes from this situation because I can't afford to like blow up at you right now because I need to get off the floor.
Yeah.
Like, say that. Like, if that's what you need to say that. And then if they follow you, call fucking HR. Like, that's it. Like, I'm like not even, I'm dead ass serious. Like, and if it's really not that situation where like you can't, where your company don't have an HR, like if you work at Burger King, McDonald's right across the street. Like it's available. Like, don't let these people blow your head up about how great the company is when the company don't pay you shit.
Yeah.
Like
at the end of the day.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we're here for money. Like,
not
don't
family.
forget that.
It's
not family. Yeah, they always like to get you with that fucking family shit.
Here we're a family.
I was like, if we're a family, why am I starving? Like,
that's weird. My parents literally paid for a free meal, housing, and clothes for the first 18 years of my life.
Word.
Oh, so you trying to match that? I mean, say that shit.
Let's go.
Say less, nigga, damn.
Tell me what you got.
Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Shit, even after that, they go, but like, no, that's absolutely true, man. But workers' rights in this country of all places have gone to, not suspect, have gone to shit, yo.
Yeah.
Like, think about other places in the world doing so much better than us. America was the place to form a union and be like, hey, yo, we ain't with this shit. Do something about it. I'm saying, from the 20s to the 60s, albeit not the best for colored people, sure, horrible, but nonetheless, union jobs were a thing. Yeah. Unions fighting for proper compensation, fighting for, proper taxes and stuff and tax returns and things like that. You remember how much you used to get on a tax return back in the day?
Nah.
I hear the stories, bro, and I'm like, what the fuck kind of legend are you telling? What is this nonsense?
Well, you see,
bro,
what happened? What happened, Mitch, is they started letting black people into unions, and then that's when that shit.
And then that's
when the party was over. Like it's like,
but even then, you know, because even within black communities, and that's a different subject altogether. Talking about like black industries that have slowed.
Union?
Logan, black people have had unions. This is what I was going to say.
I mean, like, this would be like a universal black union
for just black people in America or globally.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that's what the NAACP was.
Yeah,
you got some super brain shit going on now.
I mean, well, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about that. Let me finish what I was saying.
Sorry.
I'm just saying, and no, it's cool. It's just in general, like the black community, even of itself back in that day, in terms of being industrious and working for itself, used to do a lot better during times of like segregation and Jim Crow, unfortunately. But that was a time where everybody was working together. Like there was no... Ain't got no time to fight because there ain't no other options. It's us. We can do well for us. Black people were doing well for each other. So just across the board in America, period. Like, and I could probably do that for any other fucking variant of the human race in the fucking country. Like, probably was better. Chinese people probably working better together. Fucking Hispanic people probably working better together in some type of fashion for proper like workers' rights to get what they need. But things were different back then. Things were also cheaper back then. And then times goes on. Shit just goes to shit.
So what you are saying for the second time on this podcast is that you are not for the mixing of the races, as I would say. Because you had said the same thing last week, that, you know, the races should not mix. And now...
What?
That isn't what I said, Annie. That isn't what I said at all.
He was talking about mixed children, and he was telling everyone how it would probably be better if the black and the white did not do the horizontal tango, as he called it.
It sounds like you just had somebody light skin break your heart, and you're like, we can't have no more of that.
That is not what I said.
He's like, it would have been better if she never existed.
Which Aisha Curry hurt you?
I legitimately wish, but I didn't say anything of the sort of the bullshit that Logan just reiterated.
If Aisha Curry leaves you, like, damn, you lost a good one. Like,
that's a hurt for real, for real.
Like, she was gonna cook and like,
she does all
take care
of
the kids and all that.
Yeah.
Except no Aisha hurt me.
She was gonna dream
I ain't got no issues.
She was gonna dream about like other men and why other men don't like find her attractive anymore because
Let's not get into it. She was going through I could laugh at that, but we're not going to do that right now. We're going to talk about the bullshit that you just brought up.
No more mixed babies.
That was the whole story. She was like, you know.
I know. I remember. I saw that shit. Was like, no.
You know, it's nice and all, but it would be nice if like somebody wanted to rail me too. Like,
and I was like, bro, and no one.
Steph's
sitting here like, Steph's sitting here supporting her too, just like, hey. You know, I'm just sorry. And I was like, yo. I was like, oh my God.
You don't have to do all that. You could just make a Twitter account. Like, like if you wanted attention, you just like, I don't know, post on Instagram. Like, have your titties out. Like, the bar is not that high.
At all. So easy. Like, what you need, like, we get it done. You look good. You know you look good, right? You look good.
People are respecting your husband.
Bro, you look good. Like, you ain't need all that.
Put like a butt picture on Instagram and be like, it's round, but it's his. Like some stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, put the peach at the end of the.
Yeah. You get all the attention you need. You ain't got to be clamoring for.
What would you do for this?
On the media.
Like you just put like his name.
Put the space on one of the cheeks.
You're having too much fun with this now. We're here to talk about workers' rights. God damn it! Look what you've made.
I know. I don't even know if she's mixed race. I just try to think of somebody.
I thought they both were.
I told you that's how that is, Mitch. I told you. Like nobody.
No, and I didn't disagree with you on that. That was part of the fucking problem. Is why we had the conversation. I didn't disagree at all.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck. Light skin, mixed kid.
Like white skin, mixed. I can't tell the difference. They all the same. Exactly. But this is the problem. But like I know motherfuckers do that.
Mitch comes on the show. Mixed kids ain't a thing, and
could you please?
Segregation was better. Like,
could you please?
Mitch is like, remember when we drank out of different water fountains? Like
that was so much better.
Those were
the fountains were so clean back then.
You guys are just the worst kind.
Actually, the water was better because it didn't go through purification. It had all the minerals. Like, you guys are the worst get real Ben Shapiro about it.
Like, do I really have to? I have to endure this. God, must I endure this?
Lead is good for you if you really just.
God, do you hear this? Must I endure this?
Why does this voice sound like that? And why do people listen to stuff? Like, people are so desperate for bigotry that they'll listen to this all day long. Just all day long. This is how they get their news. like goddamn. It sounds like he's got a pencil stuck in his neck. Like it's like
another one stuck in the other nostril, so he can't get it
out. Let's move on from Ben Shapiro. Yeah. Unless we want to talk about his sister. That I'm down with. But let's move on from Ben Shapiro.
His sister?
No, we're good.
Ew, no, I don't want to talk about her sister.
Leave his sister wife alone.
His less successful sister.
Not his sister wife. He ain't that kind of wife.
I'm gonna be Ben Shapiro, but a woman, and everybody's like, okay.
Leave you. Oh, look, he did it.
Like, yeah, we don't have any of those. Sure. Mitch would be the best Black Republican, though. Like, truly. Because you think we should go back to like water fountains and shit. Like, it's like, you know.
No, the fuck I don't. And stop saying that out loud like that.
If you really wanted to make the money.
No.
If he would have been the man in the front leading that January 6th, the storming the Capitol.
Yeah. He would. Damn.
Were you there, Mitch?
Like, in an alternate reality, you are storming the Capitol.
Oh, 100%.
Like, that's where you're at.
Were you actually there? It's a chance Mitch might have actually been there, thinking it was something different.
I can see Mitch being a part of QAnon.
Like, yes, we're going to protest, but I'm with my theater friends. So he was like, oh, that's all right.
I'm with my theater. Yo, a bunch of theater kids like storming the Capitol.
Storming the Capitol.
It's like, no wonder so many fell off the wall. Like,
I can't move my face with the rage that I feel internally due to the two of you right now. So I'm going to take the time to get right with myself and God.
Right with my show.
So I don't black on y'all.
Mitch, just because we like harassed you on the show, you get to pick the next topic, okay?
I don't want to pick the next.
Okay, it's my treat.
Yeah. Pick
I'm
a
still
good one.
angry. I'm still seething. Give me a second.
Okay.
I'll be done seething.
You want to talk more shit about Mitch while he's getting himself together?
I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear to fucking God. Anyway, one thing that I had on my mind this week, audience, who are now my best friends rather than the two besties I had.
Yeah.
Keep talking like that.
Yeah, like, come back.
I haven't been able to hear this whole time.
Same for you, actually. Well, not you.
Really?
I was going to say you were low, but I didn't know I was low. I thought I had the mic fade. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's not the point part. All right? What I want to talk about earlier, or what was on my mind, was how I actually feel like an old dog not able to learn new tricks. Not in the like literal sense, but as the show's been going on and we talk about certain things, and I'm noticing myself like, I'm like, yo, I'm not like keeping up with the times as well as I thought I would be. What's up with that? And I'm like, because, you know, back in the day, I used to think like, oh, that's some bullshit, man. People are just fucking racist or stupid or ignorant. And now I'm sitting here like, am I racist or bigoted or ignorant or stupid? And I was like, nah.
It's true.
I like this.
Bro, yo, that's why I brought it up, because I was like, yo, I need to like check my privilege in one sense, but in the other sense, also just do some internal soul searching. Because I'm like sitting here like, I can't end up like that 50-year-old motherfucker in the 50s who was just like, no, baby, you need to keep wearing that skirt and smiling, or listen, niggers. All right, it's not that I hate you. It ain't that I hate you, niggas. I just think niggers have their place, and yours is over there. in that dirty ass neighborhood, and mine's is here.
Mitch,
Don't
we
you see
know
this
that
how God
about you
wanted?
already. We just did that.
We know you love the separation. It's fine.
of the races.
All right, y'all are ruining a good moment for me. So don't fuck this up, all
We
right?
like a black and white cookie, but not a snowy
Don't fuck this
tea.
up.
The good
We
moment
get
is
it.
you like implementing segregation. Like is that
Yeah,
Don't fuck this
three
up
times
for me.
now. That's the third time.
I was on a roll, and you guys wanted to stop the roll.
Yeah, and then
okay?
you chose the topic of old dogs, new tricks.
All
yeah,
right?
David Duke. Like,
I don't know. I don't get that reference.
Like you're sitting on your porch with your shotgun in your lap next to
I
your
don't
dog.
get that reference. All right.
Yeah,
I
you
was
don't
just
like
doing some
learning
comparison and
tricks.
contrast. All right. Just so we're all clear. In any case,
Wikipedia David Duke right now. If you're like saying,
I don't get
Wikipedia
the
David
reference.
Duke.
I don't get that reference.
No, it's fine. The kids at home, they'll get it.
What the fuck? I hate that even more. Anyway, I'm just beginning to like wonder sometimes because it's like, you know, we've been talking about you know, trans issues and stuff on the show, and like, you know, I'm not all the way in the space where I feel I should be. So that's one reason why I feel like that. And then I'm like, I'm not like transphobic or anything like that, but it's just that I'm sitting here when me and Logan have discussions on certain things. It's like, why am I like necessarily feeling this way about this subject? You know what I mean? It isn't necessarily hate, but maybe I don't agree. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, but wouldn't I?
Well, it's not hate, but it's also, it can't be disagreement because it's not something. It exists. Like this is something that like old folks back in the day would see with racism. I don't agree with black people, white people mixing all that. It's not something to agree with. It's happening. It's just something you don't understand.
Right.
Understand.
Okay, yeah, that's a better way of putting it. And regardless, I never thought I'd be in that.
You can agree or disagree with whatever you want. It doesn't make it not there. It doesn't make it an actual real thing that people really go through.
Right.
You know?
No, true.
I know what you mean, and sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Just like I never thought I would feel like that, period, in the first place. Ever. Right. Me. I was like, no, I'll always be on the up and up and like making sure shit's right. And now I'm just like,
Shit moves fast.
Turn 30 and I'm like, damn, I don't think I am as ready to do this all the time as I thought I was. I'm kind of bothered and tired and thinking I should mind my business or maybe not say anything at all. I'm like, I'm just being honest. No, I'm just being honest. This isn't something I would otherwise, like we said, like the show runs on me just internally like
no, but like you are actually doing like something like very, I don't want to just say brave because it feels like something that's like so fucking necessary for like people who are literally going through this to fucking hear.
No,
like,
yeah.
I want to hear you. I want to hear this from you. Like
that's why I brought it. I mean, I'm a diva and genius. We know this. I am the star of the fucking show. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, Logan. Anyway, I'm sorry for that random outburst of ego. Please forgive me. I only do that really to fuck with Logan. So I apologize.
I
literally
what you
through
said.
62 episodes. Go ahead.
So, but no, as I'm just sitting, I'm like, there's like now more of an internal drama between like, all right, are you okay with this? Or are you just saying you're okay with this? Because like Annie said, you don't actually truly understand.
Whoa,
and you don't know what you should be saying or what you should be doing. And it isn't necessarily like just like trans issues. That's just like an easy example for me to use. I do that even in terms of like within myself as the Black community, when I look at my relationship between men and women, when I look about the person that I maybe want to be in a few years versus the people who like are working in those positions of power, you know what I mean? And I'm sitting here like, all right, yeah, but it's okay. I can deal with all this because I'll never be that person who doesn't like think forward, and I'll never be the person who has issues with younger generations. I'll never be the person who disagrees with different or has issues with different margins of society. But now I'm 30 years old and I'm feeling like a little bit more stuck in my ways and feeling like, no, the way I think is a little bit better. And I'm fighting more. And I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck is this? What is happening right now?
I might be on the wrong side of history. Am I on the wrong side of history all of a sudden?
Like,
when the fuck did that happen?
But you know what I'm talking about though?
Yes. I do, yes.
Like, I'm sitting here like, yo, what is this feeling? But I'm getting older now. And now it's having me have a discussion with myself where I'm like, okay, so is there some sort of truth to when people say old dogs can't learn new tricks? Yeah, I use that as the simple example, but I'm like, all right, do people just kind of at a certain point, they're just like, nah, this is me, man. This is it. And so like,
I don't know if it's go ahead.
No, the only thing I would say is I don't necessarily think I agree with that per se. It's just that I'm wondering, I'm like,
do human beings kind of get to a point where they're just like, because, as you age, things get different. The fact is we are just dying slowly. So things start to slow at some point. And so where does that start for everybody if you're not like, doing your due diligence to make sure that doesn't happen? So it's like, am I becoming that type of person? I don't want to be that type of person.
Yeah, go ahead, Annie.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think it's like a choice or like a becoming a different type of person. I think it's just like you said with the slowing down. It's like we have less energy than we did before. We have more things stressing us out. The world
that's true.
has beaten us up for longer than it has the youths, right? The next generation over.
Yeah, no.
We're literally
The youths.
Oh, yes, my youths.
The youths
Fucking
over
Joe
there.
Pesci over here.
Shout
Shout out to the youth, them.
I used to hop on out of bed and do fucking jumping jacks on the way to it. I need to stretch every day now. I have to like stand up straight and walk straight I need to like do a minute and like crack 4 things first.
Damn,
and it's like, that's tiring. The world is tiring. We work now. Before, when we were like in college and we're in the prime of our learning, and we have so much learning happening, and we're still young, and we're talking to all these people, and we're like fiery, and like, what the fuck? Why is the system like this? College is when you're just the most energetic, the most fiery. You don't have like a 9 to 5 or any full-time job really. Your job is to be a student, and it's just you have the time and energy to do that. And after a while of not having as much time and energy, you get tired, and then. And in your downtime, when you're hearing about what the youths are saying and like all these new things that are coming up, and you're wondering, why don't I understand it? Is because it's 6:00 already, and you just started being able to like think outside of the things you needed to do. You had to spend the day paying your bills first, and like figuring out cooking food, and then getting a full-time job, and making like getting your insurance in order, and just doing adult shit like that. It gets in the way of being able to have the time to like talk to strangers, like you used to, and like read shit and meet new people. We're also not meeting new people. People are going to high school, they meet new people every day. They're going to college, they're getting new jobs and internships. They're in the world meeting new people every day, so they have more different kinds of people in their lives. I haven't made a new friend in a long time, but I have friends that I've made all over the years. When I was in college, I had, a friend who was this and that, trans, gay, blah, blah. And when you're younger, there's more of those people in the world because that, people evolve, people change. But when you're not meeting new people anymore, and you have the same 7 people in your life for the past 10 years, of course you're not going to understand, the trans fight or the fight for this issue, that issue, these new issues that we've never heard of because it's not in our life. Why would we understand? It's not even something we can just Google. These are things that these kids understand so clearly because they're around it all the time. We can't just Google it, read a few articles written by who knows what, who knows what type of person from their perspective, and that's it. And we can't expect to be experts on new shit, but we can be supportive. We don't have to say I disagree with it. We can just say I don't totally understand it, but I do understand that different people are in the world, and they're going to come into your life, and I get that, and that's okay. So I'm going to fight for different types of people. That's all I can do. That's all I have the energy for. That's all I can do. Whatever you want to be called, I'll call you that. But I got your back.
Also, when you're younger and your life is just less complicated and such, like there's a point where like when you're in high school to college, if you go to either, but like when you have that type of time and when you're in those academic type environments, your life is thinking. That is your life. Like you have the time to think about everything and everyone and like every issue and like current events and things about the world. And it's very easy at that point while you have like the time and the energy to be thinking about those things, to turn your nose up at people who who are grown now. And like they don't have time to think about that shit, and they are outside in the world with their own fears and their own prejudices, and they're all reacting off of those things. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's very easy for like a 16-year-old to like hear something Mitch said about trans people and be like, he's the most transphobic asshole I've ever, because like that for them, like that could be one moment for Mitch that Mitch is trying to work out. Right. You know what I mean? Exactly. But for that person, that's like, they're like, I
That's
have
all
all the time in the day to think about this, so he has all the time in the day to think about it. You know, it's like
I just got a
Exactly.
topic for next week.
so it's not that's not exactly, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the way the world works. And I feel like in your 30s, it's like your 30s is like you putting your money where your mouth is at that point. Like everything that you said you believed in when you had the time to believe, like now you're in the real world and like you are like it's a hyper type of focus you would have to have. Like either that's your life now or like you, like Annie said, like you have like really busy shit that you have to go through every day, right? So it's like, well, put your money where your mouth is about the thing that you said that you was this progressive about and
Right.
everything. You know, it's like, how does that look during your day to day when you're actually confronted with it? You know what I mean? So like on one hand,
You
right?
can know that. That's just for
No,
me.
I got you, Mitch.
Mhm.
On one hand,
Sorry.
my man.
He interrupted us to tell
Yeah, I
us
know.
to not don't mind the other interruption.
On one hand, like that 16-year-old is like 20% right. You know what I mean? Like
I
they're
know.
right in their
That's what
estimate.
sucks. Yeah.
They're right in their estimation of things.
You
They're
still
right.
want to smack them upside the head for talking to you like they talking to you, but it's like,
Yeah, it's like shut the fuck up when grown folks is talking. You know what I mean?
But it's
Yeah.
not supposed to be like that.
No, I'd be smacking kids. Anyway.
You heard it here first.
You didn't hear that here, folks.
Fuck
Logan does
them
not
kids.
smack minors.
If you keep an open hand, no, I'm kidding. Now, let's stop.
Anyway,
Anyway.
hilarious. Continue the topic.
Before they lock me up. Listen,
Child protective services.
but no, like 20% of them is right. Like they're right in their estimation. They're right that like something wrong is happening. Like goody for you. You found like something isn't right. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But on the other hand, like how much have you lived that? Like how much have
Right.
you been able to like actually confront that? Now, I say this with a grain of salt for like, you know, people who aren't sharing certain experiences. Like if you're cis, right, you don't live the trans experience as long as a trans person does. So it's like, I'm not going to tell a trans person, put your money where your mouth is when it comes to these social issues, when that's like your life is the social issue. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Just like a white kid to a black kid, or like me to a woman. You know what I mean? Is like I have my hangups. You know what I mean? And that's when I'm confronting myself. Is like I'm confronting a lot of misogyny right now. Like that's what I feel like. Like I'm figuring out that like as woke as I tried to be or learn to be, like there's a lot of misogynistic shit that I am working through right now. You know what I mean? There's like a lot of shit that like I thought I had a handle on, but then now I'm out in the real world. I'm like,
Yeah.
what am I gonna like really like? How far do I let the situation go? Like what do I do to stop this? Like do I need to like tamp down and put a handle?
You've come a
on
long
something?
way though.
You know what I mean?
I knew you in college, and I knew Logan in college. Oh, he's come such a long way.
Was I a misogynist in college?
It wasn't about.
I mean,
wouldn't
like
per
from
se
your
say you
estimation,
were. I
wanna
wouldn't
know
say
what
you were
said.
misogynistic to the point where you were toxic, but I don't feel like you respected women the same way you respect men.
What do you mean?
As what
That's
I said,
a
Logan.
wild statement.
I
to
know,
me.
and it's broad,
because like
but
in
I
my
mean
head,
that as
I hate
said it.
men. Like,
Yeah, but
It's
even
also a wild
still,
statement
back then,
because
and
in
it.
my head-
What's up, Annie?
I said it's also a wild statement because in my head, that's you know, never mind. Go ahead. Continue.
no, what were you trying to say?
No, I already know what she's
I
about
was
to
like,
say.
No, I
Mitch is
wanna
like
know.
that
And
too.
she's not necessarily wrong either.
What did she say?
I know I'm not necessarily wrong.
No, what did you say?
I said I agree about Mitch, and I can't say that about you, Logan. I don't think I know you well enough to know, you know, say anything like that. But for
I
Mitch,
do.
I could say the same. But I could also, I mean, I say that for everybody. Everybody hates women. This whole world hates women. Everybody on this planet hates women. That's like a phrase I picked up in the last
that
few
was my
months.
next point though.
And I'm like, oh,
Annie brings up a good point. Is that like a lot of when you're this is what I hate about the whole like progressive thing is that to be like progressive, like people take it as this thing where like either you are or you aren't, which isn't progressive because there is no progress in that. You know what I mean? You can't just be progressive. You know what I mean? You can't just like be the thing, because if you are progressive and that's all you need to do to be progressive is be progressive, there's no progress after that. So what is progressive if not stagnant then? You know what I mean? Where do you get to the part where you're actually like changing and you're also progressing and you're like looking for a better future and knowing that the estimation of a better future isn't always where you think it ends. You know what I mean? And what I feel like a lot of progressives now today do is like they set a line in the sand and be like, if you don't cross this right here and you don't meet everybody right here, you're not a progressive. When it's like that goal should be like, how do we get people to the fact where we all get to a part where we treat each other better, just that much more, like every day, if we did something where everybody is living a better life, is that not progressive? Is that not where we need to be? You know what I mean? Like, how do we get that accomplished every day? And if like the bar is like, well, you didn't read Marx, and it's just like, motherfucker, like it's like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you didn't read Fanon, like it's like, come on, it's like we can like play the book game all day long, but it's like at one point or another, we have to get to a point where we actually make a change, or like make a change in ourselves, or see something that needs to be changed within ourselves. And so like what a lot of people go through is like they get to the part where they find their own prejudices, they confront their own prejudices, and they're like Mitch said, they're like, I didn't know that shit was in me. And then there's like, well, that shit isn't in me, or they'll double down and then be like, well, this is what true progressivism is like. And so like, maybe you should be transphobic. You know, it's like, then we get to like rolling down this hill where like, you're never wrong. And then you never change. And then everybody's life is worse now. Yeah. And then like, what are we supposed to do with that? You know what I mean? So it's like, what Annie said that jogged my mind about all this and why I went on a little tangent right there is like, she's like, the whole world hates women. Well, people need to understand a lot of the time with social issues is like, that's the bar. Like, that's the bar. The bar is shit. Like, that's where we start. And
now what do we do?
If you're born underneath that bar, you know, and you're trying to achieve above that, you know, you need to understand that you also are a product of that.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
You're a product.
Yo, that's one thing I actually, that right there is one of the biggest things for me, like, period, because everybody, and this technically is globally, everybody likes to pretend that the humanity that we have now didn't come from and stem from years, centuries, millennium upon millennium of human beings doing fucked up shit and therefore having that be their behavior.
Yes.
Like, you can't possibly be right. Humanity, in whatever sense, scientifically, historically, biblically, has never been fucking right.
Yeah.
However,
so that's the legit bar.
Let me get to the important part. However, right? Everybody is built under a system that is oppressive. Like, we are all living under a system that is racist, that is sexist, that is transphobic, that is homophobic, that is all these different things, where it all ends up is to like a certain hierarchy of what everybody thinks, like what certain people think they should be in society on top of each other, right? And then like our conversation earlier, when it comes to like sucking up to white people or whatever, like people, like that's a response to that, you know? And so everybody's having their own little response to how to navigate their own little life through like oppressive systems, right? And so like the important part that I'm trying to get to is that just because that's the bar does not mean that's where you need to stay. Like, you can do something about it. Like, it might not be something that you can change overnight. Like, if you have problems with trans people, but you don't want to anymore, that might not be something that you can change today, right? Yeah. But it could be something that you work on. And you can work on that. Let me help. You can work on that without bothering trans people about it too. You know what I mean?
They probably appreciate it a lot.
Yes, you can work on you can work on your racism without bothering black and brown people.
Oh, would
You know what I
definitely
mean?
appreciate it a lot.
You can work on your sexism without bothering women about it.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Am I preaching or am
You're
I
not
preaching?
getting any
Oh my
thanks, but
God.
they will definitely like
You
that.
know what I mean? Like, you can work on yourself. You know what I mean? Like, this is what you can do. Like, you don't have to stay a certain way. There is hope and light at the end of the tunnel. And you might not find forgiveness everywhere, but also you might not always deserve forgiveness.
You're not looking for forgiveness in the first place.
No, a lot of people are.
Well, I'm sorry. You're right. You should
know what
not
I mean?
be. You don't get to force someone to forgive you.
And that should be okay.
Yeah.
That's okay, because that's another person's walk, and that's another person, what another person is going through. And you're also going through things, you know, Mitch, you're going through stuff right now in your life that has nothing to do with trans people. And really, you don't live your whole life thinking about trans people. You don't live every waking moment thinking about trans people.
I barely live every waking moment thinking about myself.
Exactly. Right. But, you know, if you have a problem where, like, you're like, maybe I'm not as progressive on this trans thing as I thought. Okay. Find out why. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just what it is. Like, just find out why. Find out what it is that stops you, whether it's in your past or in your future or whatever, you know? And, you know, that's just what we have to do. Like, I have to figure out certain things about, like, what I think about the sexes and stuff like that. Like, I have to figure things out.
Own
you know
up
what I mean?
to it, whether it's positive or a negative.
I like that you even admit it in the first place, because that's admitting.
That's my walk.
You know what I mean?
That's where I'm trying to be, because the man that I need to be for me is that dude. But it's like, you have to own up to whether the reason was some stupid, like, playful shit that doesn't actually matter, you could work through. Awesome. Glad it's easy. Or whether it's some shit where you're like, fuck, I'm actually having a deep, dark issue about some repressed shit that I didn't know I was thinking about. Own up to that shit. Because, I mean, first stage is acceptance, or first step is denial, right?
No,
and then you have to get to acceptance.
No, first stage is acceptance.
Oh, then which is the denial part?
No, wait. First stage is not even acceptance. It's like it's like grief or something. I don't know.
No, grief is like fun. What the fuck?
I know. I went through the grieving. I went through the grieving process, and I'm still going through it. I do not know all the steps. Leave me alone.
I don't remember the steps I'm talking about though, but I can't remember the exact name.
Seven stages of grief. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Grieving.
His his lack of progressivism. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you grieving? Because it's
I didn't mean to take it all the way there. I just mean you have to.
Well, that could be something to be mourned, though. That could be something to be mourned, that, like, you thought you were something and you found out you weren't. Like, it's
fair.
Something. Yeah,
I wasn't really trying to take it that far.
But you're talking about, like, putting in the work to adjust how you think. I'm not saying you. I'm saying you as all of us.
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
are we talking about, like, the steps?
It's a part of it.
There's a lot.
It's a part of it, Annie, because, like, a lot of people.
I wasn't trying to take it to that level. I just mean, like, you gotta, like, own your shit and have to deal with your demons. You can't just run from your demons.
Like, to what Annie was saying, like, a lot of people think that, like, they are their final form. You know what I mean? Like, and they think that, like, and if you find out that you're not, or your final form, like, your best self isn't you, and you thought you were your best self that whole time, there's some mourning to be done about the dying and the death of that image.
Person.
You know what I mean?
That you always thought you knew, that you're so proud of, and now you're not that person anymore.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
You gotta kill
That's
him.
definitely a grieving process there for sure.
Yeah.
Now you gotta murder him in cold blood, hang him out to back to dry, take their body.
That's even more of the looking into oneself. But you're not. So where does the fight to change yourself come in after?
Well, you gotta let that person die first. You gotta. There's a wrestling that we do. Yeah.
Okay.
Die.
See,
well,
that's
you gotta let them die first.
Hold on. This is exactly why older folks like us don't understand shit about anything that's going on, because we are spending the rest of our lives thinking about ourselves. We got to grieve this person of us that never existed, and then let that person die, and then figure out how to. We turn around, next thing we know, there's 17 more genders that were created that we never heard of. And it's like, and I'm not saying it's necessarily like a bad thing what we're doing when you get older. You can't help but have to think of yourself more. You know, when you're younger, you have, like we were saying before, we have the energy to to do this, and that, and learn all day, and talk to people, and care about each other, because like that's what was a priority. But now the only thing that feels like we have the bandwidth to care about is ourselves. And so of course when we're going to turn around and be like, oh, what just happened? Time just flew by, and now the world is totally different, and I don't really understand a lot of it.
My prescription would be like the opposite, which would be like you should become more humble about it. It's like humility is knowing that you don't know every fucking thing. Right, you lived your whole life like not really understanding how the earth revolves around the sun. Like nobody, like everybody knows that it goes around, but like if I actually like one day I'll like post the GIF of like how it like actually goes around the sun, like how it fucking like does like a weird like spiral shit. It looks crazy. Like I showed Sarah and like she was like, I don't like looking at that. Like it's just like
it is actually complicated.
Like if you look at how chaotically the earth, you live your whole life without knowing how chaotic. It works.
It's just the fact that it is. No, it doesn't stay as straight as people think.
No, literally the sun goes like this because the sun is also revolving around the galaxy, right? Mm-hmm. And like, so like from our perspective, it's like pulling everything, but it's like literally throwing the planets around itself like all day long. Mm-hmm. And so like, if you saw that, like if you really saw that, like you don't know that the earth does that. Like you don't live with that consciousness every day. So you know what I mean? So like, look at the fact that you don't know everything. And that's okay. Like just because you found out some shit that like scares you, like it's like, oh shit, like I didn't even know about this. Like this rocks my world. Make peace with that. It's okay to not know that. It's okay not to know 32 genders or whatever like people want to say these days. You know what I mean? It's okay to just fucking adjust. Like it's okay. Like it's okay to be scared and just be like, I don't know shit. This is scary because I don't know shit. It's like, that's called being ignorant. It's okay. It's like,
it's the difference. It's wisdom. That's like wisdom right there. It's the wisdom versus knowledge. You know, the younger generation, younger people, they have all the knowledge. They know everything, but they haven't experienced any of it. So they can't actually like empathize or really understand something deeper than what they've been told. Because so they know everything because access to information is everywhere, even when we were younger. But it's like we get older and we can say these things of like, it's okay to not know everything. You know, I asked my 17-year-old self. I'm not saying that, you know, or I might if I was a wise kid. But like most kids are like, I'm gonna learn that. The world is in my palm, you know, like I can do everything. I'm invincible. I do know everything, but you don't. Now you get older and it's like, no, you don't.
And you know what? That's fucking okay too. Like, I need like teenagers to be like allegedly burning shit down. Like that was a big allegedly. like burn shit down. Like you know, like you need to be out there like yelling about shit, telling us how stuff is fucked up.
Hell
like this is what your time is for. You're supposed to be doing that. And we're as older people supposed to be like, I don't got time for that shit. Like I got to go to work in the morning. Like you're supposed to be that's where you're supposed to be too. You know what I mean?
We all have our place.
But you don't have to be a dick about it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. It is actually funny you make that. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead, Annie. Yes.
We all have our place in the fight for progression.
Yeah.
The kids are supposed to be like loud in the streets, as are, you know, the college kids. They're doing like the full-time work of like, you know, making sure people hear because they have the energy, they have the volume. And we're supposed to like, you know, support on our end. How we like, we're in the meeting rooms at our jobs. We're doing whatever we're doing. And, you know, making little changes. Now we're a little older. We're the ones hiring teams and we're a step up. So we're making sure the teams we're hiring look a little more diverse than the team I was hired on 5 years ago.
Making podcasts with all black people in it. Like, you know what I mean? Just like...
Shit. What is this called? It's mango chutney free.
That sounded good. What was it? What was it called?
Samosas and Asian patty podcast.
Yeah. You said like a mango chutney. Like, come on, share the secrets. Yeah. Let me get the sauce.
I'm just making a podcast where everybody eats rice. That's my priority. Like, yeah.
Yeah. No, hey, there are Caucasians that eat rice.
You gonna learn about me, Annie?
Right,
probably not.
Just probably
This
not
is
the white
not the
American
Caucasian
ones.
people that eat rice podcast, all right?
Well, that wasn't his thing.
I'm gonna keep my comments to myself.
My point was he wasn't being exclusionary at all.
Are you upset he's excluding white people?
No.
Again?
I'm saying that he wasn't
He's like,
doing
hey,
that.
white people eat rice too, you
Well,
know.
because you was like, no, because you was like, oh, and I was like, no, he actually.
What's
he
that
actually
box of
none
rice
that.
with the black dude from New Orleans on the box?
Uncle Bet's.
Uncle Ben's. White college kids eat Uncle Ben's. You're right.
Oh man,
That is a travesty.
Oh, man.
Oh god.
oh man.
If you don't know how to choke your rice, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
Choke it?
Annie, what the fuck?
Why did you say that?
Now, come on now.
What was that?
Will you choke it?
Come
What?
She was like, choke it? What is? Oh, Scorpio.
Oh, God.
Scorpio energy. We're gonna do a ritual where we calm
Yeah.
down the Scorpio energy within
Crazy
Annie.
ritual.
Oh, do you want
Some
one?
sort of
This
anxiety.
segment is
What have you been
called
eating?
"I'm calling the horny police."
What ritual have you been needing? Perhaps I can help. I can help.
Can
with
y'all
that
like
ritual.
calm down? What the fuck is going on right
Not
now?
Oh,
sexual
God.
ritual,
Okay,
Jesus, man.
Christ!
Trying to help a
Like-
friend here.
I'm like, that was a bit.
I'm like, I do need a therapist. What do you do?
Anyways, let's get out of here because Mitch has to get up in the morning. Like I
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
Um,
Deserve to sleep.
Yeah, but we're thinking about me. Jesus fucking Christ.
Jesus.
Oh, come on. Can I at least pretend to be that self-centered? It feels good sometimes.
Oh, you
Pretend?
know
Feeling like
damn
that.
Did we say
well
pretend?
You're not pretending.
Feeling
You are
like-
not
What is this
pretending. You
pretend?
say it, and then you just realize it after. That's it.
What are you talking about? No, that's I just am trying to see how it feels to be Regina from Mean Girls for once.
You are Regina from. Actually, no, you're not.
Damn it.
You
I'm
Regina
not,
are.
but the
Mean
fact
Girls.
that you thought I
Who's
was
the-
almost
who's
a compliment.
The brunette.
I don't remember their names.
The one whose dad is the toaster street. The
Yes.
stupid one. The inventor of toaster street.
She kept saying fetch, and fetch isn't gonna
Yeah,
happen.
fetch.
What's her name? Damn.
Isn't she also blonde? Or no, that was the
No,
brunette
no,
one. Oh,
no.
okay.
That's the brunette one. The blonde, the other blonde one was the one that could tell the weather with her titties. Like,
That she's a stupid.
yeah,
Really?
she's a stupid one. She's like in the range. She's like, I'm about 80% sure that it's raining.
Man, what a good fucking movie.
I
I
love
saw it
Mean
for the
Girls.
first time. I was like, oh my God, this is great. This is like really fucking wonderful.
Oh my god.
Mean
You know,
Girls is
people
good.
always think to get good social commentary, you have to like have a serious fucking like dramatic film, bro. And it's like, I think it's like really the opposite. Like the best social commentary really only displays proper and like greatest of comedic like projects and shit, bro. It's fucking great.
Yeah, but people can't really do satire. Like
I
satire.
know,
is
yeah,
hard.
it's
Like, they
tough
can't
to
really
get
do
it. No, to get it
The movie-
right and to get it communicated properly. Really
This
tough.
is like
Really
a
fucking tough.
Amy Poehler movie. Like this
Because,
was
like-
Amy Poehler and what Amy
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Oh, I love her. Why I can't remember her name? That movie
Amy
was always
Poehler.
gonna be good. Amy Poehler.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know Amy Schumer's name. But that movie was always going to be good because, like, funny adult professional comedians were making it. But when
Right.
they try to make funny movies with like
Mhm.
actual teenagers, don't do that.
Mm.
It's not good.
And
Or
also,
they made a Mean
to,
Girls too.
to make a funny movie, you should like actually like I don't know, be funny. Like it's,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah,
like I feel like a lot
Yeah.
of people like they want to make a satire, but it's just like not
Yeah.
fun. It's like where's the funny?
They did
bit?
it for the edge. Like, yeah, we
they
did
just
something
say
edgy.
a certain
Yeah.
way.
Mhm.
It's like, wouldn't it be cool if like we didn't care about anything? And it's like, no,
Yeah.
it's not.
Oh, we added a joke or two here. Like, no, actually, no.
It's like I don't give a fuck, and I'm detached from my feelings. I'm like, join the
Yeah.
club. I've been
We
here for a
all need
long
therapy.
time.
Thanks. Thanks for having me
There's
establish that.
always
You're
cookies.
awesome.
You're not saying anything novel.
Oh wow.
Anyway, let's
Okay.
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Can you say cookies in a serious voice?
Cookies.
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 So no. Keep going.
Cookies.
Give me the damn cookies.
Cookies.
I'm just like, just fucking.
Give me the damn
if I like
cookies.
grit my
Like,
face more, just like.
cookies.
You got 5 seconds, punk, to give me those damn cookies. Like, just-
Dear diary, these were no ordinary cookies that I had stumbled upon. So as you can see, there was a woman that I once loved.
Here he goes.
These were her favorites. And as we progressed through our relationship, I found myself longing for her evermore. I couldn't help it at this point. But sadly, the closer we got, the harder it seemed to let go. And fate would have it that one day she would get into a horrible accident and pass.
You didn't even say cookies.
And the only thing I would have left are these cookies.
Damn, Kendrick has fallen far. Like
the fact I could be a knockoff Kendrick is great for me.
Mitch, do you have anything you would like to say to the people?
One, I'm not a bigot.
No, come on now. Listen, you can't just go on a rant like for 20 minutes like about your bigotry and then be like, well.
Anyway, Black success can be a tricky thing, but in a similar fashion as, how Black crime doesn't exist, technically neither does Black success. It's just we're not used to seeing Black people succeed, so the idea seems novel. The fact is, we want our people succeeding. We'd like it if they weren't horrible people succeeding, but the fact is, in terms of like the image, we just want to see people succeeding. We could talk shit about them afterwards. We want them succeeding first. And other than that, face your demons, because I'm 30 now. And, I never thought I'd feel like an old man because I'm so young, sexy, and capable. But like, little parts of me is like wondering. So, check your demons, check in with yourself, and own up to your shit. You can't move on until you do.
I like that one.
Mitchell out.
You had a real banger of a topic today. I'm going to give you your props.
Didn't even mean to. I just needed to get it out.
That was good. I think everybody needed that, and everybody needed to hear that, to be honest. So yes, thank you for that. Yes, yeah.
I really appreciate you.
Now calm down.
I will, because this was disgusting me too. I was like, oh my God.
No, it was an important conversation. Annie, what would you like to leave the people with? No, come on, and you did this last time. It's the
I did do it last time.
Don't put pressure on her. Don't put pressure on her.
Listen, people.
Don't put pressure on her. She's figuring it out.
Listen, people. What Mitch said.
Damn,
not
exactly.
even that, but it's like
Look at
sometimes you gotta recognize when, like, I don't know. You're right. I always have something to say to the people, but sometimes I'm just too tired. I'm just trying to figure myself out. I'm trying to relearn some tricks. I'm a little tired, so I guess to the people, it's okay to be a little tired. Go to sleep and keep going.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. That was from the heart, you little Scorpio. That's what I like to hear. Yeah.
Stop picking on her. Stop picking on her.
Yeah.
You can't pick on the Scorpios because they're real pinchery and they got all like their little armor and they got their little fucking what's the fucking stinger thingy? Yeah. And it's like, yeah. Man, I can't wait for us to do video. But like inside of all that, like that heart is so mushy. Like it's there. It's so great. I love it.
Shut up.
Look at her. She can't stop. It's great.
You don't know me.
Bye, people.
You don't know me.
Listen. I love y'all. That's what I want to say. I love y'all. And no, I love you, Mitch. I love you, Annie. I love you guys that listen at home. And I tried to make this show a show for everyone. You know what I mean? Not like it's for like everyone, like the way Mitch means it sometimes. I'm kidding, Mitch. I'm sorry. But like, but no, I mean like for the greater good of everybody. You know what I mean? That like, this is something that like we can be introspective on the show, so like when Mitch brings moments like that makes me very proud of the show. It like makes me very proud of what we're doing, and it makes me feel like, okay, we're on the right track. Sometimes we'll be like on 3 weeks of bullshit and I'll be like, I don't know about this shit, man. But like every once in a while we get like moments like this where we're really talking to people about like real shit and things that people actually go through, and like how like we actually navigate that. And that's kind of like the point of this show in the first place, is that we would find like the moments that like are real, you know, like that actually affect you. Like that's a real fucking thing. Like we can talk to we're blue in the face about what you should and shouldn't do on certain issues, right? We can talk all day long, but that doesn't help you when you really need to be there, you know, like when you actually have to put that in motion, like when you actually have to put your money where your mouth is about a lot of shit, you know. And like listening to people who like actually are like going through that, and like listening to people who are actually having those experiences and like being fucking human, you know. And like I think that's my goal in life, is like to just be the most human me, you know what I mean? Like to give myself the leeway to do that, to like figure out like when I'm wrong and accept that I'm wrong and that I'm fallible and that I make mistakes and that I hurt people and that I can do better and that I should strive to do better, and that it doesn't make me like the worst person in the world, though I have the capacity to be so, but that like just doing that should be like our project. And I just want that to be like the thing that people like, if anything, remember the show for, is that we have these moments where like we understood you because we are you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's why I was like all over you just now, Mitch, when I was saying like how much I
like that.
Shut up. You know you like it. Anyways, that's what I was trying to say when I was saying like, you know, how much
I need an adult.
That topic spoke to me. Or like when we was even talking about the black business thing. It was like,
no, yeah,
having a moment where like I have to change my mind about some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm coming in like the 16-year-old, like all gung ho about the subject, like, you know, like fuck Charlemagne. You know what I mean? But like at the same time, like you're like, well, it's probably good for the person who like works in the same building. It's like, yeah, it probably is. You know what I mean? And like that's like person that like they don't have shit to do with anything. They just trying to get a job, and like maybe that does make it easier for them to get that job. You know what I mean? Like we can talk till we're blue in the face about how horrible a person Charlemagne is, but you guys brought me down to a real level where it's like people got to eat, Logan, and like if they are helped by doing their job by like that, yeah, that is something that happened. You know what I mean? But also fuck Charlemagne. Anyways, like I listen, God's not finished with me.
I know.
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you.
I've always known. It's
Thank
okay.
you. I'm a work in progress, and that's my point.
We'll get you there, man. Don't you Annie too.
If you're a friend of the show,
but I'm perfect. So
if you're a friend of the show, I always like to say, if you like the show, share the show. Shut up, bitch! I'm trying to wrap the show up.
It was Annie.
You want to say you got to be out here at 9 o'clock, and now you want to talk the whole through all the way through my shit.
I thought you said,
trying to
shut
wrap
up,
the fucking
bitch.
show up for you. Trying to get us out early for you and shit.
Yo, it's so messed up, bro.
I was so peaceful like 10 seconds ago, and y'all made me violent as fuck.
You just like you just brought me back to like I just have PTSD from like a teacher getting mad at me for something I didn't even do.
Up, Mitch.
Yeah, goddamn. Sort of talks a lot. God damn.
I hate it here.
You talk a lot for a fucking podcast.
Yeah, that's like I never know what to say.
Goddamn.
That's why I never know what to say to the people, because I'm like, I don't know. I haven't talked for. I have no idea. I haven't talked all time. All right.
I hate it here.
You're the best.
We all have foreign parents in this shows.
Yeah, there's not an excuse here.
Like all of the
Nice
reactions
try.
just now, it really shows. Anyways, the heartfelt thing I was about to say was that like I always say that like if you like the show, share the show. But like what I've been feeling lately is like if you feel what we're saying and you feel like we're one of you and you feel like we're a friend of you and you're a friend of the show, like share the show. Like share it with your friends. That's what I'm really being like trying to say a lot of the time, because it's not just like an aimless promotion, even though like I enjoy the promotion of it. But like I also feel like you don't know that like some shit we said somebody might be going through. You know what I mean? Some shit we say somebody might resonate with, you know? And that really is the core of the show and everything. And that's what I'm trying to do and what we're trying to do. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you're a friend of the show and you believe that there should be more friends of the show, share the show, please. You know what I mean? Share with your friends, share with your enemies, share with whoever. You know what I mean? Share with your grandma too. Because, you know.
Hi, Grandma.
You know, people, and I say this all the time, you be acting like your grandma is like, you know, all sweet and whatever, and she gonna clutch her pearls, but she gonna listen to this stuff, and she gonna listen to the episode where like Annie's like, you talking about fucking? And she's like, he is. Like, that's your grandma right now when she listens to this show. Anyways, let's really get out of here. Say bye to the people, Mitch.
I became a man.
Okay. Say bye to the people, Annie.
Bye, people.
Oh, she's so sweet to y'all. Oh my god, I love it. This has been episode 62 of the Milk and Toast podcast. I've been your host, Logan, and we're out. Bye.